Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Myself Manoj Solapre. I am studying in Sri Venkateshwar College of Engineering in Bangalore. My topic is Linux History Design Principle. Let us see content. What is Linux history? What is Linux design principles? Let us see Linux history, origin and early developments 1991, 1994. In 1991, a computer science student in Finland started working on a project that would later become Linux. He created a initial version of Linux kernel and released it as open source. The GNU General Public License (GPL), created by Richard Stallman of the GNU operating system, which allowed for the free distribution and modification of software. Early versions and Linux were used by developers. Growth and collaboration. As more developers began contributing to the Linux kernel, the project gained momentum. The kernel started to support more hardware and features, making it more practical for everyday use. Graphical environments and distributions. Late 1990s, graphical use interfaces such as X Windows System X11 were integrated with Linux, making it more use friendly. User friendly. Various Linux distributions started and emerging, building the Linux kernel with different software packages to create a complete operating system, including Red Hat. Enterprise adoption early 2000s. Linux gained popularity in a server base due to its stability, security, and cost effectiveness. Companies like IBM and Oracle began supporting Linux, giving it more creativity in the business world. Desktop and mobile Linux efforts were made to improve Linux of desktop use, leading to user-friendly desktop environments like KDE. Android, a mobile operating system based on a modified version of Linux kernel, was developed as gained widespread adoption on smartphones. Cloud and virtualization 2010s, Linux became a dominant choice of cloud infrastructure due to its scalability and flexibility. Virtualization technologies like Docker and Kubernetes, which were built on Linux, revolutionized applications development and management. Recent developments 2020s, Linux remains a critical part of modern technology, powering a wide range of device and systems. Ongoing kernel development, focus and performance, security and support for new hardware. Let's see Linux design principles. Linux is an open source operating system kernel that follows a set of design principles and philosophies that have contributed to its success and wide, widespread adoption. Those principles guide the development and maintenance of Linux kernel and its associated software ecosystem. Modularities. Linux is designed with a modular architectures where different components are separated into modules or layers. This modular design allows for easier maintenance, debugging, and, and expansion of the system. Developer can work on specific modules without affecting other part of systems. Unique philosophy which emphasizes the creations of small focused tools that do one things well. Those tools can be combined using pipes and redirections to perform complex tasks. This approach this approach promotes simplicity, reusability, and composability. Linux is designed to be portable across different hardware platform. This portability is achieved by hardware-specific details, enabling the same kernel source code to be compiled and used in various architectures. Kernel user space kernel user space separations. Linux employs a clear separations between the kernel space and user space. The kernel space contains the core operating system components will use space contains use applications and libra- libraries. These separations enhance security and stability as user applications cannot directly access as modify kernel resources. Optimization techniques to minimize overhead, maximize throughput, and respond quickly to user and system request. Flexibility and customizability. Linux provide a high degree of flexibility and customizability. System system administrate and user can figure various aspect of system to suit their needs, including selecting with component and feathers to include in their distribution and features to include in their distributions. Stability and compatibility. Linux will ensures that Linux will ensures that never versions of kernel do not break existing applications and device. This this stability is this stability is important for enterprise environment, and long-term supporting releases. Documentations. Linux plays a s- Linux Linux places a strong emphasis on documentations. Well-maintained documentations help developers, administrators, and users understand how the system works, how to use its future, and how to troubleshoot issues. Security. While security is not a primary design principle, Linux has adopted numerous security measures and practices. Those include user and those include user and permissions management, access control list security models,